I'm just going to get straight to the point with this video for you guys because it's a very difficult video for me to shoot, to be honest. A lot of you are expecting to see me make my pro debut later on this year. The plan was, and the plan that I've been publicizing, was to do the San Jose Pro in California at the end of June, then follow it up with the Chicago Pro the weekend later, the first weekend in July, and then the Vancouver Pro the second weekend in July after that. And the goal was to do well enough and earn enough points in competing in those shows to qualify for the Olympia and then go into the Olympia later on this year. And at the time of shooting this video, I'm currently 13 and a half weeks out of that first show of the San Jose Pro. And you know, to cut straight to the chase, I've made the decision not to compete this year at all, not to make my pro debut, and not to go through with the plan as it was, and the plan that I've kind of been publicizing for probably the better part of 6 months now. The reason why it's difficult for me to shoot this video for you guys is because firstly, I've never pulled out of a prep before. And I have, 13 and a half weeks. I've been prepping for, I really started my prep 19 weeks out. So, I'm 5.5 weeks into a prep at the moment. And I've never pulled out of a prep before, never. It's the first time that I've done it. And the second reason why this is a difficult video to shoot for me is because of the reasons why I'm making the decision to pull out of this prep. But I think it's important because the issues are real, and I think by sharing this decision and the reason for this decision with you guys, especially those of you who compete, I think that there's probably some pretty important take-home messages here that I'm hoping a bunch of you can relate to. So firstly, I just want to say that I apologize to all of you who were looking forward to seeing me proceed with my plan, who were looking forward to seeing me make my pro debut this year and make it to the Men's Physique Olympia Showdown this year. I hate letting people down, and the fact that I've publicized that this was my plan, this is what I was going to do, and I have so many of you slide into my DMs on Instagram, email me, message me, saying can't wait to see it, can't wait to see the video series, which was another promise that I made to you guys. I was going to do a video series leading into it. A bunch of you excited to see that, and obviously, with this decision, none of that's going to happen. So firstly, I just want to apologize to you guys for letting you down. The reason why I've made this decision is for there's two main drivers behind me making this decision. The first main driver is I've always used the metaphor of a contest prep, the metaphor of juggling. So I like to envisage life in general as effectively a juggling act. You're trying to juggle a bunch of balls, and each ball that you're juggling represents a different part of your life. So you might have one ball that represents your career and your business life. You might have another ball that represents your family life, another one that represents your personal life, another one that represents your health and fitness, another one that represents your leisure, whatever the important parts of your life that you're consistently trying to juggle, trying to balance, for lack of a better term. That's the juggling act that you're trying to do. And when you put a contest prep into your life, it's effectively throwing another ball into the mix. So if you don't have a good hold on the 3, 4, 5, 6 balls of your life that you're continuously trying to juggle, and you go and throw the ball of contest prep in there, the whole thing's going to collapse. You need to have a good hold on the juggling act before you go and throw another ball in there. If you don't have a hold on that juggling act, it literally is a recipe for disaster. I've always said that, you know, that's kind of been my metaphor for contest prep, and my metaphor for, you know, when it's never a good time to do a contest prep. Let's just get that straight. The additional stress that you're put under physically, emotionally, mentally, it's never a good time to do a contest prep. But the best time to do a contest prep is when you have a hold on that juggling act. The truth of the matter is, you know, it's no secret that I've had some personal life struggles and issues and things that, you know, I've been trying to work on for, man, the better part of over 12 months now. And the truth of the matter is I don't have a good hold on it just yet. So my personal juggling act, primarily because of that, is not good at the moment. And I just feel that if I was to throw the ball of contest prep into my juggling act of life without having a good hold on it, it's not going to end well at all. It's going to be a disaster. So that's the truth for you guys. The truth is, you know, we're all human. I'm human just like you, and I have struggles and I have issues to deal with, and you know, a lot of the time I'm able to kind of keep things in balance and you know, keep the juggling act you know, in harmony and working, but you know, the last 12 to 15 months have been very difficult for me to do that, and I'm getting there. But I'm still not in a position where I can go and throw a contest prep into my life and be able to have a good hold on everything. The second reason is one of the things that I have come to see over my almost 15 years of the competing side of this industry, is people using contest preps and using competing and using shows as a distraction from dealing with issues in their life that they need to deal with. And it's a very easy trap to fall into, primarily because it's very addictive. You guys would know the health and fitness lifestyle is very addictive. When you go down the path of a contest prep, not only is it very addictive, but it pulls a lot of your focus by nature of what it is, by nature of the competing side of the sport. And I've seen time and time again people use that as a distraction from dealing with things that they really need to deal with, from dealing with things that really demand their attention, that require their attention, that most of the time are very uncomfortable and very difficult for them to deal with. The distraction of doing a contest prep can serve as the path of least resistance, to be completely honest. As difficult as a contest prep is, it's not as difficult as dealing with some of those really tricky personal issues that they need to deal with. And I've seen that time and time again, and I've been completely against it. I've been very vocal about being completely against it. And I feel that if I was to go forth with this contest prep and do these shows and compete, I would be completely hypocritical, because I would be doing just that. I would be, you know, I know when I go deep into contest prep, when I hit that 12, 10, 8 weeks out, and I have that tunnel vision focus, I have that competitive mindset, I have that, you know, that nothing's going to stop me focus. It pulls away from everything else in my life, and I know, definitely knowing myself and the way that I treat competing, you know, now especially going into the pro league, it would serve as a distraction for me actually dealing with what I need to deal with. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to be hypocritical. I want to be honest to myself. I want to be true to myself. I want to take my own advice. You know, I'm so good at giving you guys advice on you know, juggling different parts of life and you know, my macro view of balance and my micro view of obsession, and my not using things to distract you and actually dealing with issues that you need to deal with head on, and not worrying about the consequences and just going in and not being afraid of failing and not allowing self-doubt to hold you back, and not being afraid of other people's opinions is a big one. And I just feel like I put so much of this advice out there, and I need to take some of it myself, to be honest with you guys. And that's exactly what this decision is about. It's not a decision that I've made lightly. You know, it's been something that that has caused me many sleepless nights, has caused me a lot of thought, because there's so many things that I'm trying to balance. You know, I'm trying to balance going through with things that I've committed to. I'm trying to balance not letting people down who are expecting to see certain things. I've tried to balance not being a hypocrite. I've tried to balance making sure that I'm addressing the issues that I need to address and working through them and not using distractions, and all of the things that I talk about on videos to you guys, and all of the things that I write in my social media posts, you know, have been things that have just been playing over and over and over in my head, and really have kind of led me to making this decision. So I don't know when I'm gonna return to competing. I don't know when I'm gonna make my pro debut. I don't know when I'm gonna make it to the Olympia stage. I don't really have a lot of answers for you guys right now. I know that I will at some point, but I need to make sure that, number one, I'm addressing and working through and dealing with the issues that I need to deal with, primarily the ones in my personal life. And I also need to make sure that I have a good hold on the juggling act of life before I go and throw the ball of contest prep in there and try and make that all work. And you know, the truth is, for you guys as well, you know, I talk about my personal life and the things I'm having to deal with there, with business and the way Massive Joe's is going and Team J Apparel. The truth is, the bigger the business gets and the more the business grows, the more difficult it is for me to get a hold on that juggling act and for me to throw the ball of contest prep in there. It's getting more difficult. The opportunity cost associated with doing a prep and seeing it all the way through and competing is growing and growing and growing every single day. So it's getting more difficult for me to be able to throw that ball into the mix. For me to be able to get the juggling thing working, first and foremost, it's like, you know, the balls are growing, or maybe they're getting smart. I don't know what the metaphor is, but it's getting more difficult to get that juggling act happening, and then to throw that ball in there is becoming significantly more difficult as well. But you know, it is important to me. It's important to me to compete on the pro stage. It's important to me to win pro shows. It's important to me to make it to the Olympia as an Australian men's physique athlete. It's important to me to use those journeys to inspire you guys. You know, that's the whole point of why I do this. I've said many times before, the primary purpose of me competing is not to win. I couldn't give a fuck about winning shows. It's a bonus to me. The purpose of it is to document the journey, share it with you guys through videos, video series, through social media, and be able to use my journey as a point of inspiration for you guys to reach your health and fitness goals and your health and fitness journey. That's important to me. And I want to do a good job of that, guys. And being honest with myself, I just can't do a good job of that at the moment with everything else that's going on. So that's where my head's at. That's the decision that I've made. Those are the reasons for why I've made that decision. And I hope that by sharing this with you guys, by sharing my thought processes, by sharing my motivations for doing what I do, by sharing the struggles, just everything that is kind of going into making this decision. You know, I hope that you guys can relate. I hope that you can take something out of it. I hope that, you know, if nothing else, it kind of hammers home that, you know, we're all in this together. We're all the same. We're all human, man. We all have, you know, periods of our life where we go through some pretty heavy shit, some pretty traumatic shit, and we need to deal with that. We need to really work through that. And sometimes, you know, trying to say no to things that can become distractions are just as important as the things that you say yes to in terms of what you're willing to tackle and what you're willing to deal with head on. So that's where we're at. Walking away from competing, at least this year for sure, 2019, and you know, trying to get the juggling act of life correct. I don't really know how to end this video, if I do a usual outro or whatnot, but I thank you guys for watching. I hope that you can take something good from it, and hopefully the next video like this that you see will have me with my shit together, committing 100% with my head in the game to what shows I'm going to do, when I'm going to do them, and eventually making it to the Olympia stage. Thanks, guys.